They told you that the black woman was God. They told you about their experience of how she basically came into being. But we did not basically look at the fact that the hermophidite gods and the connection to her existence here. We did not focus on that basically principle and connecting her to the black dot as well as the sacred energies. We basically went away from the thoughts of her basically connection to the very being and why these other entities are here, why they exist, why are there orbs in our skies, why are we connecting on all levels, why is the significance of her organs, why is the significance of her blood, her DNA, her genetics. We knew from the past when they did the test on several black women, one being in particular was I think it was her name was Henrietta, and her experiments and the decoding of the God gene, the God particle, basically dealing with her. And I wanted to push forth on this lesson to basically entail information of how the black woman is connected to the vector, the very symbol that is used by NASA and other cosmic agencies that are doing their explorations into what we call space. And the whole reference on and replicas of how this all set up and how it is playing out and the truth is being declassified back into the public through the energies, the magnetic fields, and the creation. We are learning vastly how her connection is relevant to nature's growth and how everything took place long ago in the evolution of man and woman. But first we have to understand her very DNA and how it ties into the vector and the Great Mother, the primal energy, the Alpha and Omega, the hermaphrodite gods. She is a descendant of these hermaphrodite gods. Some call them Anunnaki. They go by different names, Nephilim. But she is the only ascendant of this god race, which basically broke out into strands of 3 different carbonated races and were basically put and traveled into different parts of the earth where they migrated and set up their own colonizations, which were later destroyed and compromised by other created races as well as their own. The whole paradigm changed and a lot of information was lost or buried, never to be seen again. And most of the information that was given on this particular topic was basically destroyed. So discussing or talking about the Asiatic and the primal connection to the Asiatic beings of these times, the Asiatic beings of Asia and the Anunnaki of the what we know today as being the West, and the reptilians of Africa. We know we break it down into these different groups of different primordial different beings that are basically operating here. And it takes and puts into question of the DNA strands and how the DNA connects and flows through the sequence of the evolution into the chaos, this chaos system that we live today. Most of everything in being started through water, which is the black water, the melanated or dark matter of our particular elements that basically created everything and put everything into perspective. We evolved from this through the color spectrum. As we pushed through this black water into the color spectrum, we took on that different form, from liquid form, from magnetic form to liquid form into dense solid form, which is third dimensional, our cocoon. And these things can only be portrayed through the black woman. She has all the different sequences in her. And that primal God particle has been on lock and key. It's been dormant and kept and has not been decoded since. We find that she is being abducted and kidnapped and used for harvesting, eaten, even the drinking of blood, and also compromised due to her inheritance and who she is. And those that do know some information on this subject are keeping it from themselves, away from the public, and her ties to these hermophidite gods. The Great Mother. So it's all being played out. It's all being put into place to stay hidden. And they are becoming more hidden than they was before, because of the different reasons behind what is that stored, and how if you found out these different reasons why this is taking place and what's going on here, then you would understand that through this evolutionary phase that you would see that everything ties together in her DNA, her very DNA, and the different symbolism that is portrayed through her, and it all points back to her development, her very being, knowing that she was the first deity that was created, and knowing that her DNA can only be traced back to being the first. So we know that all this ties together. All this is all the same. And we need to investigate this more further. There will be more videos coming of this particular subject for me, talking about the black woman's DNA and her inheritance to the human race. Thank you.